Sawaki Cup. What's up, party people? Man, so much internal growth and churning post eclipse season. I don't know how many y'all feeling it. If you're feeling it, like and comment below. I'm feeling it. But hopefully you are rising to the top and keeping your energy and vibration and everything high, because you have to. You have to maintain a level of optimism that will get you over these emotional humps. I try to teach the boys stuff all the time, and one of the things I was sharing with them was about, everything we do is choices. And so whether it's your happiness, who you're with, your profession, these are all choices you made at some point. So you have control. Take joy in that. You have power. You have control. Now, this is the kicker. Your narrative is trying to tell you to lose. Now, if you were raised in love and that's not your narrative, man, God bless you. Help those around you. And if you struggle with it, where sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, like I was back and forth a lot growing up, because sometimes I felt good about myself, other times that narrative, that story would kick in. So if you know you're living in that state, the first thing to do is to change that story. And how do you do it? Write out the old story, and then write a new story right next to it that you would prefer it to be. Start there. I think simple actions are really a lot of the key factors in changing our internal, external habits and projections. And personally, but this is why, one thing is I'm very conscious of reality and what's going on. And one of the things I recognize right now is that I'm going through what some would call like a trial by fire, or a test of, like a spiritual test. Like when you ask for growth, so many of you out there praying, begging, pleading, crying for change and growth. You are. But that means you have to change. It means you have to change your habits, your routines, your vices, your friends, your family, your location, yourself. You have to change. You have to be willing to change, open to change. And then that narrative will keep popping in, because that's the conditioning. That's the record tape that was playing when you were young, or whenever you got hurt or whatever. It's in your head. So if anyone's going to change it, it has to be you, because at the end of the day, it's a choice. And that's the way the Creator made this round. You have free will, so you have the choice to choose. And you also have the choice to not choose and allow your narrative or ancestral conditioning to just kind of lead your life. My father did this, and he drank like this, and he ate like this, and he died like this. That story. I don't believe in any stories except for the one I'm writing. I live in a creative universe. I receive what is good from those stories that has helped me to grow, and I reject the things that have no value for me. Why? One, I've suffered enough pain to know the difference between feels good and feels pain. And so part of it is consciousness and intelligence. If you are intelligent enough or conscious enough to know that you've been living in a cycle of misery, or 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, or whatever, number one, it's your choice to change it. 2, recognizing it so you can write a new story and start to enact new habits. Your habits become your life. Habits fill your day. Your day is your week. Your weeks are your months, your years, your life. It's all your habits. That's why everything in your daily habit should be positive. Wake up, meditate first. This is what I do. Wake up, meditate first. Go outside, put my feet on the ground, put my hand on a tree and look at the sun. Deep breathe, get some oxygen, get some sun, get the right magnetism coming through the earth. You guys have no idea the power of the magnetism through the earth. I'm having a lot of debates right now with some of my physics friends because the old story of gravity is one of movement, the centrifugal movement through the cosmos. I'm not sure I'm buying that. I'm going to reveal that later in a later post, but I have my own theories I've been working on this week. But back to the original thought. I'm sorry this is a long video, but every once in a while I just want to share what I'm thinking. I have so much that I'm trying to share with the world, and I'm finally realizing I want to do it. And a lot of it was fear. I just didn't want to be judged anymore. I didn't want to be criticized anymore. I didn't want to be blackballed or blacklisted or have friends, exit because I didn't believe like they did. Like, it hurt me. Like, people, I'm tough. I am strong. But I also act tough a lot because I'm hurt. I've cared about every student I've ever had. And leaving me because I had different cultural beliefs or because, I grew up in survival, because in certain ways I could be an asshole sometimes, and I need strong friends who can address me about that. Like, only people in my life really are other strong men and women who can address me with courage and bravery, and at the same time, keep calm and keep it a conversation, not trigger. And I know I trigger a lot of people, but the thing is, I'm not angry at you when you get angry at me. I don't get angry at you just because you get angry at me because I trigger you. One, I'm supposed to, because that's the Creator's will for you to be triggered so we could get some of that change you've been praying for, which always hurts that I know I'm doing the Creator's work, and yet I'm often punished for it. But, my point is, you have free will and free choice in this realm. Whether you choose to give it up or not at birth, or whenever you're indoctrinated into any particular belief system or cult or just ideology. I don't like to use. I'm not using the word cult anymore because that's like the word terrorism. It's like a buzzword to make people afraid and scared. Like, I ain't trying to manipulate nobody. I don't care if you believe in what I'm believing or like what I'm talking. I do all these for me. I listen to myself talk back since I started doing this on social media. I realized how healing it was for me. If you benefit from it, great. I'm happy for you. If it makes you angry and all that stuff, you don't like me for it, just go away. Like, I don't want to fight. I'm not fighting with anybody more. I'm block, remove, move on. Because that's how winning's done. But, write a new story. Too many of us are into looking at the other guy's story, copycats. What is that guy doing? I'm going to judge that guy, that person. Oh, that person doesn't want to have their baby? Well, let me get involved and interfere because I have the right to enslave them and make them do what I want them to. You don't hear that slavery talk, that slave master talk? You don't hear that? We don't have that right. The Creator put us here to live our own life and to own and struggle through and suffer through the consequences of our own choices. You're only here to be responsible for yourself and your children until they can do it. So, all this outward projection of everyone else, I know why, I get it. It's called deflection. If we talk about someone else or someone else's problem, but we don't have to look at ourselves. We don't have to address ourselves when we're sitting with people. Well, let's gossip about that person. They're not here to defend themselves or to strike down any falsities. So, and why is the gossip and all that rumor? Lack of courage to sit at that table and talk to whomever's there that you seem to care about, you say you care about, and have honest conversations. Especially with the people you say you love so much, your spouses, your partners. And then sometimes people just can't be where you're at. I can't make you get what I'm saying. Okay? So if you get it, great, we can get on. But if you don't get it, and you can't change and your behavior is too disruptive for my frequency and my peace, I have to let those people go. Why? Because I'm here in joy and happiness and contentment and winning. I've already lived enough time in that pain and suffering frequency. I have no more of it. And I'll have no more of it to those who bring it to my table. I'm like, oh, my friend, you got the wrong table, my friend. You want that table over there. So, make some good choices. Make your life good. Make it happy. You're not stuck. You're not a tree. Go and do and be what you need to be so you can be happy. What else is important in such an uncertain world? but to spend whatever time we all have left in it, our babies, in happiness and peace and freedom, and away from the fear mongers and the people trying to control us with their fear and slave master rhetoric. So, Cup.